What is up, YouTube? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. You know, something about the Asian community, especially for males, we don't see a lot of positive masculine role models, right? We just see the typical Asian who is a overly high achiever in school, and he has no social skills. He's an introvert. He's a nerd slash geek, and all he does is just focus on his studies just to become a doctor. Or he's like a martial artist who is portrayed this fighter slash savior warrior protector, and then that's really about it. There's really two role models that I see on a common occurrence when it comes to Asian culture, right? Either in China, Thailand, Japan. And to be honest, it's not bad, but it's not what I consider, or I would say many people consider, what real modern Asian masculinity is. I believe real Asian masculinity is a Asian male who is a generalist when it comes to skills and trades, and a family man at the end of the day. He is a man that takes care of business and knows how to maintain and keep order within his life and his family. You can say Asian males were meant to start families and become overachievers. I am not saying that out of stereotype or generalization. I'm just saying that out of the truth. But when I think about that, right, the first thought that comes to mind is this Korean individual. I wish I knew his name uh by word. I mean by thought. He is a astronaut, a Navy SEAL, and a doctor. Many Asian people know who I'm talking about because this guy is literally the definition of a masculine Asian male who took the initiative to move forward and take advantage of his environment. Unfortunately, I heard his backstory, and it was very depressing. Like, if I was in his situation, I couldn't even do what he did to get to the point where he's at right now. But if you look up Asian male who's an astronaut, Navy SEAL, and doctor, you'll know who I'm talking about. But in from what I see with modern technology and how the internet is utilized for many things besides entertainment, I see that the Asian male is a overachiever who can provide for himself and for his whole family, his parents, and literally build an empire from nothing. And this is what I consider the modern Asian masculine individual in America. I mean, you could say like China, Japan, and South Korea, but it's just that America has more opportunities to level up as a male compared to in those countries. Let's just be honest here, because in those other countries, you're either born into wealth or you get lucky and you work yourself into that position, right? Some people would say that you can work yourself here in America, but it's a different ball game. It's a little mix of luck into it too. Let's just be honest, because the whole stereotype that most Asians go to Harvard, and Harvard is sick and tired of having a large population of Asians. But let's just be real here. If Harvard is on your resume, you're looked like as like a high tier individual, whether you're a woman or man. They consider you as like elite status, which I'm a little envious of, because I would never get to that level of dedication, even if I tried. because I just know my limits. Let's just be honest here. So one thing for sure is that Asian males, their main priority is to achieve a high successful career. Once they get a career that's successful, which most Asian parents push for, is doctor, because being a doctor is more rewarding because you're helping individuals and you get social clout from other Asian families when they see you as a doctor, and your parents get social clout because their son or daughter is a doctor compared to like a lawyer, right? Because lawyers are like kind of in that realm of like politicians in a way. Like you almost have to like literally disassociate yourself, assuming that your client is guilty even though the evidence it's like right there, right in front of you. As a wise lawyer once said, there's no such thing as a guilty client, and that's the only way to win a case. But when you're standing on morals, that's kind of hard not to overlook. But as I digress, the modern Asian masculine male is somebody who utilizes his skills, his environment, and builds an empire from nothing. Point blank, period. In today's time, most Asian males are either in the house playing video games and, staying to themselves, not making any friends, and they're just socially awkward and weird. They can't socialize. So they just stay inside all day and project basically how they feel against the world. Because that's how they see it. They see them against the world. And then you got the Asian male who who does drugs, who goes to raves, who's just trying to find a way to escape reality because of his past. He's basically running away from his past and avoiding responsibility. And he's 9 times out of 10 fully tatted up, got piercings, probably had an abusive father or abusive parents, as what he considers right as abusive, because some of you individuals out here, I can tell y'all never been, whooped, never, been told. I mean, never had a rejection in your life, never been yelled at. But, that's none of my business. All I'm trying to say is that modern masculine Asian males are not represented in the entertainment business, or I mean, in the entertainment industry as much as it should be, and there's a reason why, which I'll probably make a video about that. But for the most part, Asian males should be reaching for the stars. And, there's always going to be somebody in the background talking about how are you going to talk about that when, you're not even reaching for the stars. I'm reaching for the stars, but it's my star. It's not your star, it's my star. I know my limits, I know who I am. I'm doing what I have to do, and so be it. But in my humble opinion, I think that the Navy SEAL, doctor, astronaut, South Korean individual is a good image of what most Asian males should be. No, he shouldn't be Andrew Tate. No, he shouldn't be, Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee or Jet Li. He should just be who he is programmed to be, and that's a high achiever slash specialist in whatever he wants to do, and take care and need to know to take care of his family. And that is it. That is it. And yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later.